cat. Let's dive in. Yes! Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Yes, my dear Big Cat. Karma has them. Look away and mind your business. Mind your business, Big Cat. Don't worry about what they done did. Karma has its foot on their neck and its foot up there. Yes, baby. I couldn't come yesterday, I told you. Yesterday was the first anniversary of my little sister's passing. I had to take some time out to get my mind right because there was a lot of skullduggery around that, darling dears. But that is for another day. We need to speak about the skullduggerers, the bottom feeders that thunk they had one up on you. Imagine that. Laugh with me, Big Cat. Ha ha! As we go into the planetary energies. The skullduggerous moon, darling dears. It's in Taurus, the second house of values. Your responsibilities, darling dears. All of this and that. It's about you wanting more stability in your life. But you have to remember, you have to cut away the past in order to lean into your now. To what? Make the best future for thyself. The skullduggerous moon in Taurus, right, speaks about adjustments must be made over the next few weeks, darling dears, to remove blocks that have kept you stuck. Possibly that block might be in your mind as you keep, ruminating over the past. Listen, before I finish with the planetary energies, you better go to the mirror. Look deep into your eye chakras, Big Cat, and slap the shiznai out of yourself until blood and spittle flies. If the block is about something in the past, you best let it go, lest you be found on the rocks of life, looking like Quasimodo's bestie and barking at passing cars. Focus on areas where you've been in a rut, darling dear, and slowly extract yourself from it. Do the mission impossible. We have the sun in Aquarius, trining Mars in Gemini, darling dears. Focus on something productive and keep yourself physically active. Energy is likely to be pretty high. So you need to use it wisely, darling dears. Not casting your mind back to the past. Not trying to send out a white flag of truce to someone that crossed you, Big Cat. Good God, nearly ran out of breath. Fortunately, my hairline comes first. Yes, this and that, my dear Big Cat. We also have Mercury in Capricorn, trining Uranus in Taurus, darling dears. The rebel planet, the planet that likes to live outside of the box, makes the impossible possible. Joining up with Taurus, this exciting transit can help you bring fresh ideas about your finances and careers and how to use the technology, darling dears. Don't be afraid to try something new. Embrace the unconventional, yeah? Wrap yourself around the unconventional, darling dear. It's right up there with the unknown. And those trines, how we love a trine. Here at Don't Get Smoked Central, we love trines. Why? Trine means opportunity, darling dears. A trine reminds you that the comfort zone is kryptonite to a Big Cat. Remember I told you that? Fist bump. Yes, baby. The best revenge over those dull-eyed, tree sloth, darling dear, those hood-looking alfalfas. The best revenge is to get happy, darling dear. Get great. Get your pentacles together like MacDuck. Why? Because in this life, this 3D life we're living in, money is power. And power is knowledge. And knowledge is power. And power is money. It's a tight circle of truth, darling dear. Many people like to say, but Case, you talk about money. Listen, we talk about money every day. I talk about how to get it, how to keep it, right? And I don't ramp. As I stand up, Big Cat, you stand up with me. I'm your survival kit. Unfortunately for you, Big Cat, we're besties. Pinkies up. They wanted you what out there with a full-on reverse friar tuck, darling dear, worrying about where they've gone when they got when what lust and money got a hold of them, darling dear. They thought those few pentacallies that they had in their coffers was going to take them through life. No, darling dear. They got what they got because they was in your hemisphere. That unconditional love is a once-in-a-lifetime love, darling dears. Trust me, they are barking at passing cars. Never you ever, Big Cat, regret being a good person to the wrong people. Your behavior says everything about you, darling dear, as their behavior says everything about them. So karma has found their address, has it? Driven upright in a shiny spiritual shortcut, has it? They're not loving it, trying to wheedle their way back in, are they? They better find you obstreperous, darling dear, with 3 go-to moves and a bat. I told you. Many of you need to get a bat and swing it around your house. Understand the power that you hold, darling dear. I've gone past the stage where I feel that I need to leave my house in the middle of the night without any of my electronic devices and my cane rolls, the fuzzy ones, darling dears, the fuzzy cane roll. You know, listen, as a black female, you will know what a fuzzy cane roll looks like, darling dear. I've gone past that stage, too busy getting great. The karma bus was delayed, darling dears. Well, I'm here to tell you that what? It was because of high demand. But it did not forget an address to come through with the wiki dubplate remix. Remember I told you that? Let's dive in, darling dears, and see what go on. They tried to F you over. They wanted you crying into their fist at their back. Imagine that, when it was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Whether you told them to fetch the black bags or they decided to fetch the black bags. Whoever done it, darling dear, it was the right thing. You had to get far enough away from the fucking East blood to what? Unfuck thyself. In the name of the Most High, Father God, Mother Isis. You learn never to ever cast your good pearls before a swine. Why? Because we do the boosie badass. Everyone gets interviewed. What do you mean? They don't like your questionings? Why? Because they're a liar, and liars don't like to be questioned, darling dear. At your back, darling dear, your shapely back, you have Ewas. This is represented by Temperance in Tarot. It also represents you as what? An earth angel. And the fact that you have what? A whole team, darling dear. I told you, Big Cat, many times. It's rich white lady season on Keitha as well as Malkuf, darling dear. They are being paid in kind. With what? Destruction, fallacy. Some of them can't even get it up the way they was getting it up when they was with you, darling dear. Why? The drugs, the alcohols, and the bad vibes has them by the what? Proverbial balls, darling dears. And they are getting a kick in their spiritual nutsack by your ancestral team. This is represented by the number 56, 57, 58, and 59. And the letter Y. I've asked myself that many times, then I realized it was a thankless, unfathomable task. You don't ask why. You thank God for the why. Yes, baby. They're not loving the fact that you was patient. But you wasn't being patient for their benefit, darling dear. You was patient because you knew they may not have got caught for everything they did, but they will pay for what they done did. Your ancestors took what? Aspersion, right? They was very upset They was at hockey sticks at dawn when you was run over, darling dear. And they tried to back that shiznai up and run you over again, darling dear, until you said, how now, brown cow? Love of thyself, darling dears. Love yourself. I told you, in my darkest hours, when I really just wanted to lay on my bed with no lace front, right, fuzzy cane rolls, right, my progeny still wanted 3 meals a day, blood. I still had to wash the clothes, cook the food, and go to work, and bring in a bag. I didn't have that. I didn't have the luxury, darling dears, to stay at what? The darkness before the dawn. I had to get up and get great. The temperance also reminds you that you've been on a difficult journey, darling dears. But you have to remember, it's not the destination, because quiet as it's kept, the destination is dodo dead, darling dear. It's the journey and getting the lessons. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch, because I speaks the true truth. Pinkies up. They are admiring your gangster in secret, darling dears. They better keep it secret, because I told you we swing bats around here. Go and watch my Don't Get Smoked video where I teach you light kung fu and self-defense, darling dears. You don't want to see none of them. They will see the back of your hand and the bottom of your feet as you... Listen. Let me just calm down here, because I'm not one for violence. I prefer to hit people up with my accomplishments, darling dears, as I continue to move in silence with what? 2 of these and 1 of those. What's that? Love and light. Yes, baby. This is a spiritual line. Yeah, this and that, big cat. This and that. They're admiring you in secret, darling dear. Why? You have a captive audience. Why? Because your ancestral team is not, they're uncouth. They've got no chill factor, darling dears. They're making sure that they hear or see everything you're doing as you continue to bend the matrix with your badass alchemist ways. They got into circumstances and situations that was lust fueled, and when the sweat dried off, darling dear, and all their pentacales had been spent, right, they can't even get a bit of juice after they finish what? Working with those Shakira hips, right, on other bottom feeders. Lust will only take you so far, darling dears. Money that you got in the presence of a big cat will only last you so long. Fortunately for them, they managed to meet up on like-minded bottom feeders on the same spiritual short pass that was going for what? I told you, a field trip past the sign that says you must not F off past this point, darling dears. What was that? The point of no return. The point where you got to where you don't care. When you said to them, tell it to the wind. Yeah. All of this and that, big cat. All eyes on the throne. They can't help it, darling dear. They must admire you in secret at least 6,000 feet away, darling dears. They can't come close. It'll be like Icarus coming too close to the sun, darling dear, because they will get burned. And you can't take any of them back, darling dear, as a friend. Are you mad? You'll make them into your bitch. And you're out of bitchness, darling dear. Your bitch quota for the rest of your life has been filled, darling dear. It's filled. Filled with what? Being a bad bitch. The baddest cat of them all, big cat. Pinkies up. Worried about what you've got going on. Thank you. Look at this. We have your Raz. In tarot, this is represented by the Hierophant, my God card in tarot. On its face, darling dears, on it, there is no God in this situation. This is somebody who is in a destabilized situation. In the upright, it's a relationship they could have gone into. It could be a job that they went into, darling dears. It could have been the support they felt was around them when they was trying to F you over. Give it to you without the Vaseline, darling dears. Well, there is no God in this situation, so therefore, they are getting their orders straight from their leader. Whom's that? It's the devil, because they're in the crevice of the devil's balls, as karma has them. Look away, big cat. It's got nothing to do with you. When you see these bottom feeders, they will either be too fat or too skinny. Yes. And shame, they've got shame all over them, darling dear. They won't be able to meet your eye chakra when they realize what they gambled and lost. Losing a big cat is something that you will cry about forever, darling dears. Your good advice, your lovely humor, your helping hands, darling dears. And don't even let me talk about your spiritual whack. Yes, they would love to find a safe haven in your what? Seat of emperors and empresses. Don't let them even sniff it, darling dear. They must live on that memory for air, wondering whom you're giving it to. None of their business, darling dears. Mind your business and pay your knees in case you slip up and accidentally fall onto that what skullduggery peen or into that black hole of Calcutta, the one that had you what barking at passing cars. I told you, big cat. There is no God in this situation. They perpetrated a lot of injustices. In some cases, they used religious factors to try and keep you in a paradigm that was not for you. Uraz is represented by the letters U and V. You possibly need to put a UV light on them because they are what? An energy vampire. They will burn up, darling dears. It's also represented by the number what? 20, 21, 22, and 23. These people are lust-filled, darling dears. Mouth breathing, darling dear. It also speaks about, as I said, when you see Uraz on its face, there's issues with, they got the bad health. They got the bad health, the bad karma, the bad luck. They took bad advice and they've got bad intentions. Let it stay in their circle of sadness. You're busy getting great, darling dear. Socking it to them, Scotty. I told you, big cat, you dry those tears and then you become a keyboard gangster and become the baddest in whatever field you choose. 30 minutes a day it takes to what? Refine and fine-tune your skills. Remember I told you that? The race is not for the swift. The race is for the big cat. Once you realize that what? It's time to get off your knee and say amen. Fist bump. Let's carry on. Yeah, we're talking about them today, guys. We're talking about the bottom feet. Yes, we're talking about them. Because who gonna check me bull? They wanted to be what? A rogue and a rebel in your life, darling dear. Unashamed boldness, and they was brash with their behaviors. They came through all of the B's, darling dears. Especially point A and point B. Yes, it's tatty because we use it often. I tell you all of the time, big cat, every dog has its day when they realize it's a big cat world. Big cat wave. Yeah. Outrageous. Thought they got away scot-free, eh? With a whole Jezebel spirit. They should have laughed. Listen. They even getting tarot readings on you, darling dears. But what they're hearing, darling dears, not fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. They don't like the fact that you're winning, that you're bending the matrix, that you couldn't give a good golly or a gosh where they've gone or whom they're with. All you know is that what? To mind your business, blood. Whatever they get, wherever they went for guidance, it was bad advice, darling dears. Bad advice, ill advised to spy on a big cat who is what? Spiritually guided, spiritually protected. They didn't bargain. They didn't even thunk. They didn't even thunk whom was caping for you in the spiritual world. They didn't thunk that your words will carry spiritual weight. When you told them what you did to me, I've already done to you, darling dears. Oh! Their house is what? A mud hut. Guantanamo Bay. On crack, darling dear. As lightning strikes it, darling dears. All of this and that. A destabilized foundation. Yes. Hockey sticks at dawn, darling dears. And yet, they are being what? Sent to look at your social media. And not only that, merchants of slander on the balls of their feet are telling them this and they're telling them that. They're telling them all these things about you, big cat. They want to box off their ears. They better box them off somewhere else, right? They want you to be in a habeas corpus, right? In prison, darling dear, waiting for a sentencing. Listen, it's got me on my... Listen! And they're broke. They don't have no pentacale, right? They're in a situation. If it's a home situation, right? This is supposed to be a stable foundation. In the reverse, they got no... They don't respect them, darling dear, right? Because what they came into, darling dear, right? With their pentacles, it was like what? A candle in the wind. It done. And they can't get back to the level that they was when they was with you. Because you was the light. This is why they spent so much of their time trying to tear you down. Make you think that you was a dummy bat. When you were, listen, you who is so smart. Yes, they was tricky for a time, big cat. Oh, they was. They made you believe that you was a dummy bat. And you was going nowhere when you came with the whole table. Imagine that. Well, guess what? That same table has been set. Psalms 23:5. Remember, I told you that, big cat. Pinky's up. Outrageous, I know, but good. Good. Good for them. All of their cards are in the room. What's going on? This is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Right? Their glad bag has busted, darling dear. There's no happiness there. They don't feel no passion for the people or persons they're around, darling dear. I told you they're not respected. Right? They're an idiot. Easily swayed by the Shakira hips. Lost. Imagine that. Oh well. Let me cut my fan on, get my Beyonce on. Let's get a deck and see what real I'll go on in the mud hut. Let's get a deck that's clear. It's toxic. Yeah. What sweet them is sour in them. In Jamaica, we say things like, what sweet nanny goat, I got running belly, and their belly's surely running. Their life is diarrhea. On the rinse and a repeat, darling dear. Toxic cycles attracting what? What they thought or thunk was what? Their ideal partner. Listen, they got themselves a whole what? Revelations 2:20. What's that? Where's my... These kids come and touch my things, right? And if I go in their room and touch... That's a whole Jezebel spirit, darling dear. Yes. They got involved with somebody more broken than them. Somebody who what? Will take any form of attention, darling dear. They got involved with a black widow spider that wanted to eat off their head. Yes. That's their business. And they're broke. I don't care how much money they may have now. They're broke, darling dear, spiritually. So therefore, they're going to attract like-minded souls. Let's see what's going on amongst the what? Tree sloth. Tell us. Oh, they said a lot of shiznai about you, darling dear. This is heinous gossip, darling dear. What did Rick Ross say? False allegations. They cast aspersion on your name. And whomsoever they was with, they helped them. They helped them to try and bring you down. They thought you was crying into your fist when you was really what? Just washing your face like David to get over the heartbreak that they caused. They tried to F over what? The empress of everything, darling dear. You know your worth. If you've got progeny for them, you take care of everything, darling dear. And you're making the right investments of your time. Many of you, the Seven of Pentacles, listen, right? Listen, I have to cuss off the fan. Stop putting the hair in my mouth, blood. Well, I have to keep the fan on, right? Because I'm telling you, this menopause shit ain't ramping, blood. It's made me have to keep my big toes out at all times. I can have on the thickest of socks, but I better cut the big toes out, or else. They see you making the best investments of your time. They see you reaping what you sow, darling dears. All of this they can see from the nosebleed section. Why? Because karma have them. And all they can do is launch hillbilly investigations, right? Look, a whole page. Pwah! When you see the Page of Swords, right? This is a spire, a gossiper, darling dears. But they're watching, trying to see this, trying to see that with their nosy ass self. How could you F over the Empress or Emperor of everything? Good God. Oh, well. You who's learned how to what? Unbreak your heart, darling dear. Unbreak your heart. That person or people was sent to wake you up, big cat, to your true divinity. You embody all of the kings or all of the queens, whether you are male or female. This is about what? Tapping into your subconscious mind, darling dear. Your subconscious. I told you, big cat. We've already decided that we're going to be using Queen Nefertari's words, right? You are he or she for whom the sun rises, right? So tell them to shine on, black. They want to come up against you, they'll be burned. This toxic trick. This is an unhappy situation, darling dear, that they're unable to get out of, right? Whomsoever they're dealing with is a gossiper and a liar. And they believe those lies. Why? They was led by their genitalia, blood. Yes, the blind leading the blind. Toxic situation that they can't leave behind. They feel as though they got the short stick in life. They're asking God why. And you know what God said, right? You know what God said, right? Love and light. Release the ancestors. Yeah, love it. Order in the court. You lot are laughing too much. But we have to laugh. We have to. King of Peas. This is someone that gambled, darling dear. Gambled on you. This is about you being an entrepreneur. Maybe you've got a new business. You've educated yourself. You've gone so far. You're a queen pin, king pin, king pin, queen pin. Yeah. All of this and that, darling dears. This is knowing your worth and adding tax. You took a risk. You took a leap of faith when you left those drudgerous, dark circumstances that wanted to kill out your quality. They was taking a shit in your life, darling dear. A shit. What did I just say? This manipulating bottom feeder. Yeah. Not even above spell castation. Some of them did try to use spell work to keep you in a situation, which was the wrong move, blood. You can't do that to a divine child. One who's done you nothing but good. And in some cases, you was lucky enough to what? Lend them some sperm and an ovary and gave them whole progenies. This manipulator, they was attracted to what you brought to the table, darling dears. Never you ever underestimate your gangster. What else? You had to unbreak your heart, right? Yeah. You had to unbreak your heart. 3 of Swords in the reverse. You had to unbreak your heart from this shoddy shape. Listen. Knife's edge. When you chose to heal, darling dears, that energy had to go somewhere, darling dears. They're on a knife's edge. Some of them need what? Medical attention. Listen, I always said, and I'll always tell you, my dear big cat, they need to get to the exorcist first, then the psychologist. Yes. And they possibly need a counselor to tell them that they need all of this shit. A whole throuple of experts, darling dears. They're on a knife's... Look! They've got the effrontery, darling dears, of wanting to come back. Listen, let me just draw your attention back to what I said. There's no coming back, right? You don't deal with the dead. You are not a necromancer. You are not a medium. Well, some of you are, but you're not for them, darling dear. You don't deal with the zombites. Those, remember, have you seen that film, The Pet Cemetery? The body you recognize, but the inside is black-hearted and mean. They are soulless. And now they're goalless, darling dear. They've got no goals. They've got no goals. And no morals, darling dears. This cheating cheatara, this bottom feeder, this animal in a kitten or Cuban heel wants to come back. Look. When you're reading the cards, pay attention to where their eyes are. Also pay attention to the direction of their hands, because sometimes when you lay the cards down, darling dear, their hands are pointing down to another card at the bottom, which is more important than the card that was laid down. They want, look what they're looking over their twisted shoulder, right? Oh, somebody better tell them to stop that shiznai. Remember Salt Bay, Lot's wife. They want to leave out of the Sodom and Gomorrah they created in their life, yeah? This son or daughter of Pennywise the Clown. Yes, big cat. All of this and that. I can't believe it. Can you believe it? We don't believe it. I told you, mind your business, yeah? And drink your mocha, because you ain't getting smoke blood. They want to come back to you, darling dear. Why they want to come back? Listen. Should they dare to try and contact you, right, by any means, right, they're going to find you as the Queen of Swords, obstreperous blood, right in there with obstrepery, mate. They gave you misophonia, all right, where you can't bear to see them blinking or breathing, right, or eating, right, and they gave you pisanphobia, the best gift of all, where you trust no one, darling dear. They want to come back to successful you, right? You've got the one ring. Your ring is on your ace of wands, the one ring to rule them all, darling dears. This also speaks about your intelligence. Some of you are tapping into your cerebral, darling dears, getting big in the cranium. I told you, big cat, 30 minutes a day. Work like a field hand. Become an expert in your field. They want to come back into your successful life. All right. So if the big cat allows them back, what's going to happen? Oh, they'll be bringing what? A throuple with them, darling dear. They'll bring a third party. And the healing that you've done, darling dears, you'll be going backwards. Listen, allow these time-traveling bottom feeders. Don't allow them to come through and interrupt your space and time continuum. You've got to get what? Really, 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 really above that shiznai. They're still involved with the person that they brought in to try and hurt you, darling dear. Remember I told you that. But they have to stay in that situation. Why? Because they're broken, darling dear. They showed you nothing but bare disrespect. That's in respect and disrespect, darling dears. They dissed the big cat, right? Yes, baby. Every dog has its day when it realizes it's a big cat's world. Fist bump. They will bring a whole throuple in for you, darling dears. Imagine all this mixing of those bodily fluids. That alone should make you pay your knees, blood. Or go better yet, go and bury just rip out your ovaries and go and bury them under some tree. Hide your scrotums. Tell them at the back. all those intermingling orifices. Big cat, I need to ask you, let me just straighten my lace front so I can ask you this question. Do you have a vacant orifice for them? Do you have a vacant orifice? I've got to ask you these questions. Why? Because we're besties. And we tell each other the truth, roof. Pinky's up. They're looking for a whole vacant orifice, big cat. This manipulator. Because they see that you're doing great. Not only are you doing great, you're fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. So what have they been saying about you and your badass alchemist ways as the empress or emperor of it all? What have they been saying? Tell us. That you've got a lack of control, darling dear. The Four of Pentacles is about being in control of your finances and everything. They're telling people that you stole to get in that position, darling dear. They're telling people that you can't afford your chariot of righteousness. What's that? That's your car, blood. Why do I call it a chariot of righteousness? Look, I told you. It's righteous anywhere you go in it, darling dear. Righteous. They're saying that you're losing everything, darling dear. You've got no control over everything. They're lying through their what? Bottom feeding, right? Gingivitis mouth. You released this person, Pentacles. This was somebody who was meant to be stable in your life. You released them. And they're what did I just say, big cat? They're folio. And what does the big cat do? We leave folio alone. Folio wants to come back. They want to be this new partner in your life. That means they're going to... They want to be a new partner in your life. Good God. Father God, why is this scourge trying to visit my big cat again? Scourge. Why do I want to come back? Folio. Folio, look where Folio is. Right next to the cheating card. The liar and the cheat. You wouldn't know which face to smack. They've got so many. This mask wearing marauder. Listen. You better make sure that they can't come in. Right? They're not allowed. No progress. Nil. Zilch. Zero. Zippo. And let them realize that you care zero about what they've got going on. You don't care. Because they're toxic, blood. They're toxic. Remember your hairline. Raise your left hand, big cat. My hairline comes first. Yeah. They're toxic. OMG. They're going to tell you that they love you. Baby. Me personally, if you've done me something that's made me have to cut you off, darling dears, that love, listen, I'd rather you hate me. They want to tell you that they still love you and they're going to offer love to you. They want to come out of the cold, right? They want to come out of the hockey sticks at dawn. They want to come and share their karma with you, big cat. Imagine that. How now, brown cow? They want to come out of the cold. They don't know how you was able to turn your finances around, become stable again. In the upright, this is what? Losing it, darling dear. But in the reverse, the Five of Pentacles, how did you get up from that, what, sackcloth and ashes that they expected you to be in? They thought, right, that they was the be all and end all. Now, blood, you are quite happy with what? Your subconscious. That is the be all and end all. Because without your subconscious, you won't be able to blink or breathe, blood. You'll be brown bread, pushing up daisies. They want to come out of the cold after you've been making the right decisions, darling dears, right? Page of Swords also speaks about the focus, going into new fields, learning new things, right? Yeah, they want to come out of the cold. Dos Vidania. We've got to get Russian up in this bitch. Dos Vidania. Right? They're going to come lie to you, right? Perpetrate more injustices and have you like you're one of the crowd. One of the crowd? Oh no! In my gingerbread man voice. You remember in Shrek when they saw that what's his name, Lord Farquaad, and the gingerbread man saw that he was wearing a thong. Yeah, they want to come and do all of this shit naive to you, darling dears. They want to be. You got any hair, and they'll be rapid with it. Rapid. They're coming to do you shiznai again. Some of them you've actually divorced, darling dear. You got before a whole judge, right? Told them everything that they did to you, right? And you're divorced from, you got no tie to this person or people. And they're juggling and struggling, blood. They ain't got no money. Do we have time for petty? Do we have time for petty? Andrew is saying, yes, we've got time for petty. Jazz! This is Jazz. We've always got a little bit of time for petty. And this is Belle. Them have no pentacale. No pentacale. None. This is a stable foundation. This is somebody who's in debt, blood. They owe to everyone, right? And everyone's looking for them. This is not just only what debt on Keitha, darling dears. It's the Malkuth as well. Nothing like having what solid debt as well as spiritual debt, darling dears. They've got no loyalty around them, right? They spoke a lot of injustices about you, cast aspersion to your name right? Not realizing that you as a child of the divine. You can't find a you just anywhere, darling dears. It's affecting their health. Pentacle is in the reverse. Is somebody who's mad in their cranium, blood. They've got the bipolars. There's nothing wrong with having bipolar, but this person is undiagnosed, darling dear. So they're like free willy on this Malkuth, darling dear, doing this and that to who's allowing it. Don't allow them back, darling dear. Remember what they told everyone about you. Because you got to hear some of the things, darling dears. Some of you got it through your intuition. Some of you got it through your dreams. And some of them had more front than Brighton Pier, darling dears. They told you that shit. They told you all of this and that. Well. Oh well. Who's laughing now? Not them, darling dear. Juggling and struggling. Looking for a co-mate to share in their karma. Mind your business, big cat. Mind your business. They don't like the fact that you're making the right. Why is my lace front itching me? Oh, Jesus. Looking from this material tough, you know. Anyway, like I was saying, they don't like the right choices that you've made. Some of you have chosen to be by yourself as you've waited for the right partner. Continue to invest in yourself, darling. Is this cryptocurrency? Looks like cryptos to me, darling dears. Somebody's a newbie to it. They don't like the choices, the stable choices that you've made in your life. Because you're not having it. You better have your block game for the gods, darling dears. Master your emotions, right? See it from a different perspective. If you get one more spiritual card out here, I don't know what to tell you, big cat. Go within. Remember what they did to call this obstacles in your life. They're going to try and keep you stuck. Why? If they can't break you, they will finish you off, darling dear. They're coming for your what? Your lace front, your big tub of what? Palmer's cocoa butter cream. They want you on the dirty dab. Where is my dirty dab? Because this is what their underwear is looking at right about now. Imagine this. This is the back and this is the front part. Jesus. Jesus! If that don't make you go into the wind like, you can't break my soul. You can't, listen. Come through Beyonce. Posh clap. No, black. They want to put you on a dirty dab, big cat. Use your intuition wisely, yeah? Use discernment, yeah? Oh, hell no. Emotional maturity, yeah? Remember, you are the empress or emperor of everything you survey. Once you realize your worth and add tax, master your emotions, yeah? And use your intuition and discernment. This is about your close for spiritual work, yeah? Because you see that this person or people was a stumbling block in your life. That person was sent you, right, for you to realize your worth and add tax. Many of you are tarot readers, spiritual people. You've got them spiritual hands, darling dears. Wherever you put your hands and your mind towards, it will surely grow, darling dears. But you have to see it from the perspective of what? The godly self that you are. Queen of Cups, listen. You'll be dealing with a King of Wands blood with the unsatisfied eyes, with the Panania Fatum that has no chill factor or pause. They'll be what? Pillaging, plundering and looting your life, darling dear. Because why? They'll believe that you are the only, they think that they are the only choice that you can have on this Malkuth. 7 of Cups on its face. You better run that you listen. Look, toxic, darling, they're a toxic trick and they're spying. Well, they liking what they see. They see you stable. They see in the command of the biggest pentacali of them all, opportunities and choice. And they caught up in their cranium. Good for them. They should have been caught up in their cranium before they did what they did. Karma has them. Karma the patient gangster. You ain't got no time to tongue wrestle with these bottom feeders. From a distance, you can't see who the chicken of the sea is. Leave them where they are. Where's my deck of the wicked? As I sip my mocha, because I ain't getting smoked. I've already put out a public safety announcement. If you did me dirty, right, or my progeny dirty, don't come back. Don't come back. Yeah. Oh, they're in spiritual prison and they're looking for you to come and pick the lock, darling. Are you going to pick that lock? My hands will be like this. They can't move. I'd lose all. Listen. And what's this? They will put you straight back on the rinse and repeat. Baby, don't you love your hairline? What's the matter with you, big cat? They'll be rapid with it. It's so 2017, darling dears. What's this? What's this? Oh God, what's the matter with these cards? This one wanted to poke up. They've got addictions, darling dears. Drugs, alcohol, and lying. Right? Many of you have gone to your birth natal chart and found your Chiron. Go and find your Chiron, what house it falls under, darling dears. It will give you the tools on how to heal yourself. I've told you this many times, my dear big cat. Your birth natal chart is your snapshot of the Akashic records. And why they try to make things like that evil is because they use that same shiznai on all of us. They've been using it on us for eons, darling dears, to keep us what? Us as what? As they call useless feeders, useless eaters. They set up schools, darling dears, to teach us nothing except raise us to be workers and not the boss. They didn't want to raise nations of thinkers, darling dears, that know how to heal themselves. They need to start teaching meditation in schools, teaching those progenies how to manage money, right? And manage their emotions. But I digress, darling dears, because you know I can be such a chatty cat, right? What? You need to, it's time to toe tag the pain. You're a natural healer, right? Heal the codependency within. Because there's something in you that attracted that wicked, listen, the devil's most diligent workers to you, darling dears. They tried to break you, but they can't break what divine has classed, has earmarked to be a divine child, a soldier for the light. They've got addictions. No! And they're a back front neck tabber. Judas, right? Don't take nothing from them. I told you, when was it? Was it this Christmas? No, last Christmas. That wicked man tried to buy me off with a £60 John Lewis voucher. £60. Judas got 30 pieces of silver. He tried to buy me off with 60. It must be because of the inflation. I was so mad. It was like somebody sent a cursed object into my house. That progeny had to go back outside and send it back up under him. Send it back up under him. Didn't send nothing around here again, yeah? This back front neck tabber wants to come and stab out your quatty. Why do they want to come back? They want what you have. I told you, big cat. Nobody is stronger than a big cat that's been held to the fire and have not been found lacking. But you have to remember, you can't cry over these wicked people. When you cry over them, you're focusing your good, godly energy on them when you should be focusing on yourself. What's that? Oh. Focus on yourself. There is tabber, and they will come and tab you again. Right? What's this? They've got an STD and a whole naked baby, so they're looking for a co-pilot to pay them maintenances, right? And a threesome gone bad. Listen, what did I just say about the vacant orifice and all the intermingling of those bodily fluids? If that don't have you spluttering like Sylvester the cat suffering succotash, pay your knees, blood. Pay your knees. You don't want that smoke. And you've got the blank card. Make a wish, big cat. Doesn't come out often. Divine is your best friend at this moment in time. You've been getting nothing but the blank runes and the blank cards. And they don't come around often. This is your time to be blessed, darling dear. Not be stressed. Not be wondering if you made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake when you allowed the maid to take the trash. Why did you let the maid do it? Because the maid is a raccoon. And what do raccoons do? Except wallow around in the trash. The rubbish. Judas. Right? Oh, some of them even got their body done. I told you, one of my well, I don't even like to call her a sister. The same person that shared the same womb as me, darling dear. She flew out on my mother's money all the way to Poland to get her body done, darling dear. And guess what? She came back to find out she's got cervical cancer. Judgment has been called. She helped her son and I don't even want to call him a brother. So another person that shared the same room as me, steal my mother's £2 million house and had her sleeping on a sofa. What they did to my mother, I'll tell you what they did. Because I went to find out shit, they kept backing us all off, right? Until it was my mother's 80th birthday party. right? Then they got in contact with everybody all of a sudden, wanted us to pay money towards her 80th birthday celebrations. This was in 2018. Yeah, big cat. Anywhere, right? So fortunately, I was able to get access to my mother at that time. And we did it like a mission impossible. One of us picked her up in the car, we dropped her off, we got her to her doctors, and we got a hold of my mother's medical records. And they had stopped taking her to the memory clinic, right? Because she would have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. They waited for her diagnosis and they took her to a solicitor to have her sign over her £2 million house, right? With I think it was £76,000 in equity in it, right? Before her diagnosis. Not only did they do that, there was no solicitor for my mother in that room. Yes. They did that. It's the truth. I've got no reason to lie. I've got all of the paperwork. I told you. Ever since I was, what age was this? 22, and I'm now 55. I've always worked in the field where I've found out information on people. That's been my job. I've gone up the ranks finding out shiznai on people. I found out everything. But I couldn't save her. I can't take her out of that situation because of how she spoke to me, what she did to me. No, this is what I'm telling you. Some of these elderly people, when they abuse you, when they're young and strong and they say and do these wickedness to you, darling dears, they forget they're going to get old. And she got left in the hands of those people. She was sleeping on a 2-seater sofa until I came in there making up a lot of noise. Right, she had a distortion in her spine. She's got dementia and Alzheimer's. Right, listen, it's a whole. I'm gonna make a story time, right, and show you all of my receipts because I never talk when I go so. I speak the truth, right? I had to. When I saw that woman that shared the same room as me, right? When I saw her last year on the day that my sister died, right? She knew that my little sister was sick for 3 months before she died, and she called nobody. She didn't allow the other half of the family that was not getting paid from my mother's money, her son and my brother, the son's girlfriend, her daughter, everybody got some benefit from that, right? And my mom was living in Guantanamo Bay. When you see how she's living now in her own piss and shit, darling dears. I had to look her in her eye. I told her Isaiah 48, I cuss her out till never had no voice. Then I told her Isaiah 48:22, and then I looked her in her eye chakra, and I said, I call judgment on you. I call judgment. And I left her to it. I called judgment on that boy that shared the same womb as me and her son. The race is not for the swift, darling dears. People think that they can mess around people and do this and that. But your words, big cat, carry spiritual weight. And I did not have no malice in my heart because I'd already given that pain to God. I asked God to open my eyes to all the toxic people in my life. And guess what? I was by my flipping self with 3 progeny blood. They never left no one. Your words carry spiritual weight. We don't seek revenge as a big cat. Why? Because every dog gets has its day when they realize it's a big cat world. Fist bump. 183 in the chat, right? Yeah. The plastic surgery that she got didn't solve her issues and didn't hide her from the judgment, darling dear. Came for her punani. Split the deck, right? They're below ground zero, right? A full-on dustite, a dust bunny, a dust ball. And their balls are possibly even dusty as well. They're proverbial balls, darling dears. They've got dusty balls and they want to come back to you. Listen, right? They've got anger and emotional issues, blood. And guess who they want to take it out on, big cat? All because you're doing great. Better than great, fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Never you forget, my darling dears. Never you forget that you've got the 6 G's. What are they? God, growth, goals, gifts, greatness, and gratitude, because you was able to escape. Not only that, divine has given you the High Priestess third eye, so that you don't get drawn in by another what? Back front neck tabber in a different meat suit. Look at this as I'm talking. No family support, betrayed by friends or a lover, overcame challenging times. Not everyone, they can't come with you, big cat. I don't care who it is. Or out, they're gonna cry, They'll come to you and cry and have snot dripping off their chin. You know what you do? You go to an upper window, right? And jettison this from the upper window, right? They'll be like chicken licking, thinking the sky is falling in. You just call the police, because as a spiritual being, right, you are duty bound to call the police to remove the basura from your walkway so the big cat cannot be interrupted as you're walking. Allow them, right? You're anointed. They want to know. Allow them, yeah? They want to know how we got here. They need to sit down and think about what they did, right, in the crevice of the devil's balls. On that note, I drops me mic. 555 on the counter, darling dears. Todd love to my Teesprings, Todd love to my Patreon, or simply come back here. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. I love this track. Listen to this. Yeah, that's how I'm moving. Yeah, they're gonna be speaking in tongues. Don't take them back, big cat. Remember, 2 of these and 1 of those, and always have Father God, Mother Isis at the head of your table. You are the one that holds the whip. You are Khaleesi, you are Carl, and what you say goes, darling dears. You run things. It's a big cat world. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat.